All right, we are now live. We are with Melinda and Ryan Van Fleet, and we are celebrating. I hope you guys have your copy too. We are celebrating the brilliant breakthroughs for the small business owner. This is the book launch day, and this is actually book 4. So I introduced to you Melinda and Ryan Van Fleet, and they wrote their chapter in the Brilliant Breakthroughs. Tell us what the name of the chapter is.
Sure. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Melinda.
I'm Ryan.
Our chapter is called Building Confidence Along with a Successful Business from the Ground Up. Chapter 7.
Chapter 7. Perfect. You know that it's been really fun because the two are known as the dynamic duo. and you share, you have different businesses, but you share a common and how you work together. What prompted both of you to share in writing a chapter for this book?
Yes, I can think about that because sometimes I have an idea or something happens and I say it to Ryan, and if he doesn't say no, we roll with it. We take action. So this book was one of those circumstances. I felt very strongly about becoming a published author in 2020. As I've been writing and speaking and coaching. And I feel like we have so much to share as a couple, especially since our story is that in 2009, we both lost our jobs at the same time, moved to the Keys and started over from scratch. So I just feel that it's our time now to really help others. And along with that thought process, I didn't think I would have enough time to write my own book. And a very good friend of mine who's a fellow co-author, Susan McCushion, she's a returning co-author. She and I are in a mastermind together, and she was like, you need to meet Maggie. She's amazing, and she puts this book series together, and this could be perfect for you. And Maggie and I spoke several times, and I was like, this is such a great book series. I love how she really focuses on helping the small business owner, which is what we are. So that was just a perfect match. And all the other authors that she has collaborate in all her books, just there's so many wins to this. So for me, it was, hands down, like we're in. And then I told him, and like I said, if he doesn't say no, it's a go. We take action. And here we are today, months later, and it's very exciting. It's been really fun.
What an awesome team. And how has this affected you, Ryan, being able to write it in this chapter?
It's been a learning. I've learned a lot through the process. So it's just along the same lines as what Melinda just said. It's been something that I wanted to do as well. And when she talked to me about this, I was like, yeah, this sounds like something that I'd like to do as well, and then share my story. I have a hard time sharing my story, so I figured this was a good way to do it. So,
well, when you do share your story, and I think it's the storytelling that is the connecting fiber of what humanity needs. And when you can weave in your story with teaching really good points about who you are, what you stand for, and what you bring to the world, and when you put pen to paper and actually do that, it really cements it in your own head, really, and in your heart. The better ways have been able to communicate just exactly what you do. So, Ryan, you have a captain's license and you have a boat called the Good Karma, and I think your business name is Good Karma. Is that correct?
Yep. Good Karma Sport Fishing. Yes.
Tell us about it.
My background was I'd been in the corporate world for many years, and I was absolutely miserable, and I wanted to start over. When Melinda and I were both laid off, I said it was basically now or never. So I moved to the Keys. I did not. I would consider myself a good fisherman. When I got down here, there was a lot to learn. So I started at the bottom and I worked my way up. And I was either going to work for somebody the rest of my life, or I was going to become a captain. That's how it works down here. So wow. I took that step. I think we took our last dime and we bought the Good Karma. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was a huge risk.
Yeah.
So,
Do you
but here
guys
yeah.
stay along?
So-
Do you spend a lot of time on the water, and do you teach or take on fishing
So
expeditions?
it's the way that my charter business now, I have a fully booked schedule. I'm out 2 months, which is awesome for a charter boat captain. I have I would say that 80 to 90% of my clients are all repeat clients. I built my clientele with referrals. I didn't use any sort of, it was all word of mouth, organic build with me. I did very little advertising. I just did the work and the word spread like wildfire. So, when was it? 2 years ago, I started. The big thing with me is that I really wanted to start giving back. I didn't know how. And then Melinda presented me with the idea of starting a podcast.
Oh, nice.
And so it was a little rough. I was like, yeah, it's
But he
tough.
did it. He did
Yeah.
it.
And one thing, if you know anything about fishermen, is we don't like to give up our trade secrets. That was the hardest part of that, was letting go and learning that about, with the confidence part of the book, that I had to separate my ego from from that. And when I learned that, that's when things started to happen for me. So the podcast is now 2 years old. I've built a community of like-minded fishermen like myself that have the same principles, and
Awesome.
then now I'm just starting into monetizing with smaller groups and taking smaller teaching groups. I have a few courses that I've started that I sell online now, which, that was another thing. I was like, I have to giving out some stuff that I don't really, and that took a little work too. So everything's a little work is what I try to stress with people. And that's where the confidence part comes in. So like I said, I started this business down here with very little help. You're considered an outsider when you come to the Keys.
Right.
And it's a very tough industry to break through. So I was either going to sink or swim. When I had a bad day, when I woke up in the morning, my passion for fishing made me forget about that. So I still went, no matter what, and I kind of created my own path. So here I am today, and I just had my first national magazine publication that I was just written up for. I've been on the cover of Florida Sportsman, so I've had some good things happen in what I would consider a very short period of time. So which is really good.
Very, very awesome. That is just beautiful to know that you were able to accomplish this, and it took the determination. It took growing in confidence. It took a lot of. I'm sure there was times when fear kind of stepped in its way, and it kind of pushed.
Times.
And it's when we can overcome those things that's when the success begins to happen. So congratulations to you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's work every day.
Yeah,
So,
it sure is.
Fear doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away. The fear is there. Yeah.
No, there's always something new that we
Always.
need to face. Yes.
Always.
So for you, Melinda, tell us what you do and what you bring to the world.
Yeah, sure. I have also a corporate background, 16 years in corporate America with very large retailers. And like I said, I was laid off the same time in 2009, but I had wanted to be a sales rep and do pay per performance because I knew I worked harder and I brought more to the table than a lot of my coworkers. So I was like, I need to get paid more for this. So when we moved to Florida, I started over as a sales rep and built a very successful book of clients and did over 2 million just myself as a road rep, and really learned about communication, building relationships, offering value to my client base. And then a few years ago, I had something happen with one of the companies I was working with that really just opened my eyes. And I was like, you know what? I need to start working on my next path in life, which would be my third life. And I really felt that my heart and soul was in speaking, writing. So it's been a couple years that I have been working also as a success coach, as a writer. I've been doing some business consulting. And I also help Ryan pretty much on a full-time basis, except for the fishing. So when you asked about being on the water, it's like, I don't really get to do that much anymore, once in a while, but mostly I'm behind the scenes, kind of like the Wizard of Oz behind the scenes helping. And I just really love being able to share, especially, when you get to a certain age, you kind of go, okay, I've really done a lot. I can really help a lot. And the more and more I talked to people, it just kept coming up that people really needed some help in regard to confidence. And it just kind of kept coming in my face that way. And so that is the majority of what I speak and coach on, is confidence, building confidence, taking action, dreaming big, and just, knowing that you can do it. And a lot of our story, we didn't have any of this experience when we came here. We never even been here. We didn't know anybody. We didn't have any money. We didn't have any jobs. And it took years of figuring it out to finally get to a place where my dad wasn't saying, I'm worried about you, right? You get to that place where your parents aren't like freaking out every time you call, or his parents thinking we're going to move back, like you just keep going and you keep, persevering. And all of those things that you have happen in your life, all of those situations, good or bad, and sometimes it's the bad that you learn the most from, build your confidence.
Right.
And that's what I try to, that's my goal, is to help people, women, men, and couples, together as a couple. We speak as a couple because we feel that, a lot of times you don't have the support base at home, and one of you may be struggling. So we've had that. We bounce things off each other like ping pong balls. So our intention is to share that with others and to help others along the same path.
That's beautiful. It's especially in a time that we're living right now, where the world feels very tumultuous, with COVID and all the other, just the political scene, everything that we're facing. To be able to stand together as a couple in business and support each other is very, very powerful. And I think that there's so many people that are kind of really weighing, what is it they're doing? There's so many people that have been sent home from a job that maybe they're working from home, they're trying to school from home. There's just so many factors that it's just kind of rocked our world right now. And it is time really for a lot of us to remake, to reinvent ourselves and to step up to the world in the ways that we need to. And the confidence is the key factor, trying to make sure, just gain the confidence that you can do it. And your message going out to the world and doing it together is very powerful, because it sets the example for other couples as they are facing, okay, what do we do? And but on the other side of it is being able, the support that you gain from each other, from being able to know that you're not alone in this amazing journey. It's really beautiful. So what would, from both of you, what would you say is the key thing when somebody reads your chapter of the book? And for those that are listening, pick up a copy. We have the link in the chat box below. Take time to read this amazing book. But for you two, for you, Melinda and Ryan, what do you want somebody to, if they read your chapter, what do you hope they walk away with?
I'll go first. My biggest thing, I guess you say, is realizing that you can do it too. And so many people, that's what you had just said, Becky, they get stuck. They think that they can't. So if they follow the steps in the book that we lay out, which are simple, but not always easy. That's another thing to remember. Sometimes simple doesn't mean easy. You have to practice. But if you start to follow the steps that we've outlined over time, doing the reps, you'll start to see that you can change your life. You can get unstuck. You can go for the dreams and the goals that you want. You can work on your relationship. You can be a better team. There's so much. I just love the topic of confidence because I truly believe it's a foundation. So many people have asked me, why confidence? And I'm like, because it's the foundation. It's a huge foundation to anything you can dream or imagine. And when you start to follow some simple steps, do them repetitively, and then remember the great wins that you've had along the way that'll help keep you going. I think that that's just one of the most important messages that I hope that our chapter gets through.
Very beautiful. And for you, Ryan?
And for me, it's don't be afraid of failures. That was one thing I really I tell people. Fishing is like any small business is like fishing. You're going to have really good days and you're going to have really bad days. But if you're really passionate about it, like I am, you're going to get up the next day and you're going to figure out what happened see if you can improve upon it, and you're going to forget about what happened the previous day. That is fishing. It's small business too. It's
small business for sure, and it's putting that one foot in front of the other. And you know, usually the breakthrough is not in the beginning. It's when you've just kept putting that one foot in front of the other and keep rolling and not give up. And even when you feel like I just can't go another step, is when that success happens because you stuck with it. Yeah, very good. Well, awesome. It's such a pleasure to meet the both of you. I can say my husband would be saying, I want to do what he does.
And we would say, it's not really easy.
The biggest thing I tell people is that be careful what you wish for.
Oh, I know.
Just a really funny story, because I haven't said this to that many people, but some people know. You know, I manifested a husband who had a hobby because I was a workaholic and I didn't have any hobbies, and look what I got. So yeah, definitely be careful when you wish for. It happens,
beautiful.
So.
Well, it's such a pleasure to meet both of you, and thank you for showing up for this interview. Thank you for your chapter in the Brilliant Biz Breakthrough, and keep on doing what you're doing. Keep serving the world.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your help with the book. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.